stuff like that. See, at 2 years old, his parents were kind of worried he hadn't learned how to walk yet. So what they did, like any good Canadian family, is they flooded a hockey rink in the back, right? Gave him a hockey stick. He learned how to walk like this on the hockey stick. Still plays hockey today. And of course, any Canadian kid who grew up in the West on a farm had to do a little rodeo, right? So he rode steers and all that sort of stuff when he was 14, 15 years old. But I'll tell you something else. We did a bikes and bull show. You know, we had rodeo up there. And this kid goes out there, thinking that he's just a dirt bike kid, throws his leg over top of the bull in an outfit like this. Made it seem like there was a superhero out there riding bulls. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, the rock star thing upside down like this is the first letter of his name. Here, I'll tell you what I mean. Let's bring him on out here. He comes to us from Medicine Hat. We sometimes like to call him Magic. Don't you love Adam and walk tall and lean? Oh my. Out there on that Suzuki four-stroke, I still can't get used to it. He rode a two. As a matter of fact, he's been on motorcycles for what seems like forever. His brother Lance, who's here in the crowd somewhere, was one of the original superstars in freestyle motocross in Canada, competed in the very first Canadian Freestyle Championships. At that time, he was like a skinny 12-year-old kid. But back in the year 2000, that skinny kid was the Western Canadian 80cc champion. Then he began to run around on 125, eventually 250. Now, on that big four-stroke 450. Oh, you know what? Lance told me a story about him. When he was a kid, he used to like dilly bars. I think you'll get a sense of why that's the case, you know. And the other thing is this, is that he liked to craft birdhouses. Figure that one out. Okay, to make him a little cooler, if you want to go hang out with this guy, you go to the back, you listen, and he'll play a really mean version of Metallica on an acoustic guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, the man we call Magic from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Please give it up for my buddy, Mr. Dylan McMorrin. You know, I was telling him that you like those dilly bars. This guy is an amazing performer, and really, the man who is responsible for bringing all of our riders here for you today. You'll get to know him. 6 feet. You know, I don't want to say anything about this guy doing this stuff in the baby blue. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than me. He's standing like 6 feet. This side little feet, man. He's got like a 12 boot size. Yeah, I don't know how he gets them like that. Must have some special sponsorship deal or something like that. And I'll tell you, this guy is really all about family. You know, he's married his high school sweetheart, Danielle. They've got 2 little kids, beautiful little kids, Gavin and Lily. As a matter of fact, you'll see them on his poster. If you come down to our autograph session afterward, he's got those kids, everybody on his poster, because he's all about family. And I think that's awesome when you think about big old bad old bikers, you know what I mean? He's got the tattoo of the kids on the fit. He's got a tattoo of his dogs on his arms. That's a whole different deal right there. I'm not sure how much of it. He's got pit bulls, I suppose they're part of the family, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, when we get down to this guy, what can I say about him? I like to tell this story. He gets so mad at me when I tell this story. I said to him, who should play you in the movies? And I always thought he'd say like Brad Pitt, you know, somebody like that, like stand up on top of a box or something. And he said Leonard Nimoy. Keith Sayers. This guy comes to us from Redding, California. Should we bring him out here? What do you say? I said, what do you say? Well, what do you say? Bring him out here right now. Oh, what can I start with the stories about this guy? He'd been a member of the biggest, baddest freestyle motocross gang in the world. He was a militia back in the day. But he is a very independent rider. As a matter of fact, one of the most creative guys on a dirt bike you can imagine. He created a trick called the Captain Morgan, which we hope we'll get to see. Having a drink with him afterwards, a whole different deal. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you get a sense of the kind of performer that this guy is. You saw him arch that back. He broke it back in 2009. We wondered whether he'd ever be able to come back. Well, by the way, when he takes that helmet off, you see him drop out a little mouth guard right there. He's got these pretty white teeth on top and nothing on the bottom. Kind of goes with smacking your face down there on the crossbar, you know. Let's see how he does here right now. We're looking for a trick from him. Oh, there you got it, ladies and gentlemen. The man who invented that trick. What can I tell you? He likes country music. He doesn't like sushi. He likes cats. Figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen from California, please give it up for my buddy, Mr. Nick Dunn. Yeah, I scared myself doing that. You know, this guy is an amazing rider. He was born in Corona, California. Actually, he wasn't born there. He was born in a hospital there, a little tiny town. He actually grew up on a 60-acre farm. I'll tell you stories about this guy. When he was young, his parents used to ground him, and how they grounded him, kind of hard to do that on a farm, is that they take away the motorcycle privileges. So he couldn't ride his dirt bike, but he got smart. He got smart. He ended up getting a BMX bike and actually ended up being really one of the guys who kind of set the tone about what happened with freestyle motocross. Because you see, he's been doing this since he was 18 years old. He's 30 years old now. Give you a sense of how incredible this guy is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me set this up for you, all right? He has 14 X Games medals, including 4 gold X Games medals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Todd Potter. Todd Potter. You can tell. We call this show, sometimes we call it the evolution of extreme. We'll take you back, way back, to where it all began. These guys will help you tell the story of the early tricks of freestyle motocross. Now, you might think it began on a track. You might think it began in the dirt. That's not quite true. It began in the sand dunes of Southern California in the late 1990s. The motorcycle riders were inspired to try pulling out some tricks on dirt bikes that had never been done before. But they weren't inspired by motorcycle riders. No, sir. They were inspired by BMX riders. Kids who were riding bicycles after their races in empty culverts, in empty swimming pools, pulling out these tricks that at the time seemed amazing. A no-footer, a no-hander, a can-can, a nap-nap. And suddenly, the guys on motorcycles said, I wonder if we can do that on a 250-pound motorcycle. So they went to the dunes, and they tried it, and they found that they could. And they created in the process a brand new type of motorcycle sport. But you see, nobody saw it. Because out there, they were learning it the hard way. When you fall, and you fell in that dirt, you get hurt. And I don't care how you look at it. When you drop from 30 feet in the air, down onto a sand dune, it still hurts. But they kept at it, and they kept learning it. And they realized that what was missing was you. How do we bring this to the fans? How do we show the folks that love motorcycles what we can do? And in the process, began to create the sport that we call freestyle motocross. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the early chapter in the evolution of extreme. What do you think of my friends who ride freestyle motocross? The riders who are writing the story in the air weren't the only ones who creating extreme. There was riders writing the story right here on the ground. Let's welcome one of them right now who helped to write that story. Ladies and gentlemen, he began this sport at 5 years old. He began to learn the sport as a kid. Pulling wheelies, and don't you look at me like that. This is, look, you're getting a little closer, man. Let's get a little closer. Don't you encourage him. I'll go ahead and encourage him, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the best in the world. Sport bike riders in the world. Story about this guy. He didn't start riding when he was 4 and 5 years old. He started much later in life, somewhere in his 20s, you see. And you can tell he likes to get close to people this way because he's got that big old triumph out here. He started out coming from Seattle, Washington. He was a professional snowboarder. It's like being around Bruce Lee, except he's on a motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen. Most intense sport bike freestyle demonstration you have ever seen. These guys are getting revved up out here. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because they're about to light it up right here for you now. You can tell how impressive they are on these triumph three triples. Ernie calls it a naked version of the Daytona 675. You can see the highly modified motorcycle Look at Ernie down here. Ernie into a circle wheelie down on the far end. Out to the inside, look to bring that leg across into a version of the Ralph Louis, a crossover Ralph Louis. There's a skitch into that pirouette. He looks like he's a member of the Canadian figure skating team when he does that, doesn't he? Kicking those legs out here back and forth like that into figure fours. Popping that front end of that bike up, and he looked over here. I'm getting out of the way. Look at the way he works that bike. You can tell he's got that extra lever on the front side. He's got a clutch, he's got a front brake, and a rear brake. And his feet aren't on the pegs. Go back down here now. High speed. Bikes are squealing here as they come back and forth. Up into tank stand. Look at this. In stereo. They got those modified tanks like that. Kind of hurt himself a little bit there. But beautiful there out of those tank stands. You can see him up on top of that thing. Idle set very high on the motorcycle so that they can do that kind of stuff. Bernie's got one hand off. Can he get the other hand off? Let's look for him to get the hand off. He's got one hand. Oh, look at that! Both hands off in a stagger circle wheelie. Just the fact of doing that trick alone with your hands on the bars takes about 2 years to do it. And Ernie comes by with a little page out of Apex's book. Giving a little tap there in front of this guy's got a great picture there. Turning it upside down. Side of the bike. Look at this. Look at the nose wheelie here in the high chair position. If that goes wrong, that bike slams him right on the back of the head. And still in the high chair here as he swings those legs back around and back down there on top of the seat. That is some awesome control right there from Ito. Rocha in the far end now, circling in here. Look at how slow he's got that circle wheelie going. One hand off. Trying to get the handle. When he get the other hand off, he's trying to get things balanced there. Circle wheelie as he works it down to the far end. Nice little smoke show here from Ito. In here when they took us forward to my friend Craig Latimer. Look at that, into a high chair transition. My buddy Craig Latimer is here, one of the best freestylers in Canada. Watching these guys, and Latimer goes to call it a hooligan sport. These guys brought it inside of here. Rosa, wait a minute now, hold on. Rosa's turned around on the bike. Are we going to see this? Are we going to see this? This trick is called the Pusher Man. This is the one that made him famous right here so long ago. Let's see if they can put it together. Rosa will reach out, try to grab that front tire. Can he do it? Can he do it? Give him a little love here. He's going to need a little encouragement. He's got it. Nick, Rosa, reaching forward and grabbing Ernie V. Hill's tire. And the trick that made him famous. The Pusher Man right there. I hope you got that on camera. You got to transition into his special now. There's a little hard down on the far end. Just watching these guys do tonight. Up into that nose really there. Rocha stops right there. Look at that. This guy never has a problem getting a parking spot in the shopping mall. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, can I hear you get loud and proud for Ernie E.W. Hill, Nick, Apex Rocha, Team Empire, brought to you by West Union. Now they're going to be our autograph section after the show. We're going to get to it. In the meantime, here, I think we're going to make a little bit of noise for you right now. Do you not just get bored out watching the trick that they said was the holy grail of freestyle motocross? Back at the turn of the century, they said it'll never be done. It'll never be done on a motorcycle. They used to do it on super kickers over about 45 feet, kind of go up there, turn around, come right back down. But Nick Dunn has taken this trick to a whole new level with variation. Let's get him warmed up here with your applause here right now for the trick called the backflip. What do you say, Edmonton? I tell you, I still get that little shiver up and down my back every time I see him do that. The backflip from Nick Dunn. But are you guys ready to go a little bigger? Are you ready to go a little bigger? Well, let's hit it here. Billy Cohut out to the side. Oh, he hits the Cohut right off the top. Super can out to the side. Letting go with his hands so his body's out sideways. Dylan McCorn up there into a ruler style. Kiss of death. You know, when you look at that trick is sent him around the world right there. as he hit that out to the side. Dylan McMorrin hit the ruler-style KOD, and then a no-handed Superman from Sayers. Look at this! Upside down with a no-hander. Can you make a little bit more noise than you usually do? Fire! Oh, man! The militia rider turns it upside down. You can hear it over there. That gyro, oh my! Kohut out of that half holy grab, letting his hands go, bringing it back here. He goes with the bar rock solid. Shaolin bar hop from Dylan McMorrin, bringing that body up flat like this. And then that Shaolin for the Sayers. That was a cliffhanger from 6 feet 3 inches tall. Get his body back down on top. Done. Bringing that leg across the backside. Remember we talked about the neck back early. Back flip right. Oh, Potter. Oh my. Into that huge kiss of death. Scorpion style as he brought his legs up. Kissing the old school right there. From Billy Kohut reaching down and kissing the front fender of the motor. Are you guys enjoying this? Or what do you think? It's just me. It's just me who's having some fun here. I'll tell you, I watch these guys do this stuff. I just still love it. Sayers upside down. Classic backflip. World record in that discipline. 140 feet is what he did right there. Version of the no-handed candy bar, sometimes called the stripper. But that guy, Potter! Oh, up there into a heel clicker. Looking like he's a guy.